Cousins, today is a really big day for me. One of my biggest childhood dreams is coming true. I get to be a meteorologist for the day. Oh my gosh. You're like, what, Kardea? That's a dream. That is a dream of mine. So when I was a kid, I would always pretend to be like a newscaster or a meteorologist at my grandma's house. And she told me, one day you're gonna be a star. You're gonna be on TV, you're gonna report the news. And you know what, Grandma? 36 years later, I am reporting the news. A year ago, I met Dave Williams, one of our local newscasters, at our Grape Stomp. He told me if you bring some of that delicious food by the station, I will let you do the weather for the 5 o'clock broadcast. So I'm making a very simple yet delicious meal because I have to transport this to the station. I'm starting off with my chicken salad sandwiches, the perfect blend of salty and sweet. I have seasoned both sides of this chicken breast with a little salt and pepper and some olive oil. I'm gonna roast it at 400 degrees for about 7 minutes. I'm gonna put some roasted grapes in here. I have some pecans, I'm gonna have some tarragon. So if you like texture and you like flavor, you're gonna love this recipe. All right, so I have some pecans here that I'm going to roughly chop. The pecans is gonna add lots of texture and a little nuttiness. I have some fresh tarragon here, a little earthiness, Dijon, mayo, and tarragon. It's the perfect combination. And I'm also adding a little bit more texture with some celery. So I told you my grandmother said that one day I would do something in the news or something in entertainment in general. She would always keep papers in her house from her job, and I would sit on that bed and I would look right in the mirror and I would just broadcast the news. She'd go, "Child, you're gonna be a newscaster one day. Look how you're just announcing everything. Everything is an announcement." And little did I know, I'd end up doing this. But Grandma knew, Grandma said it first. All right, so it's been about 7 minutes. It's time for the chicken to come out. I'm gonna add those grapes. I find that it is absolutely delicious because it not only adds a little bit more texture in it, but it's sweet. I like a sweet and salty chicken salad. So I'm gonna flip the chicken and adding my grapes. Red grapes works better with this recipe versus your green grapes. For me, I don't find a lot of sweet green grapes, so I like to use red instead. As the grapes roast in the oven, they're gonna get nice and blistered and they're gonna release some of that natural sugar. Pop this back in the oven and let it roast for an additional 10 minutes. All right, so for the dressing, I have a little sour cream, okay, for a little tanginess, some mayo, a little Dijon mustard, Dijon tarragon, match made in heaven, and some freshly grated garlic. So I'm grating the garlic because you can taste the garlic without feeling the garlic. Give it a mix. I'm gonna add a little salt and pepper. And after I add the chicken and all of the other ingredients, I'm gonna taste and add more salt and pepper if I need it. All right, so my chicken and grapes are done. Ooh, look at that. Nice and roasted and the grapes have blistered. So I'm gonna use a fork and shred my chicken breast and it should just easily shred. So I don't completely shred all of my chicken. I like some thicker pieces. So I shred just enough. And the great thing about this recipe is that it travels well. So if you have like a picnic or you wanna take it to one of your friends or a party, it's one of those good recipes for that. I am so excited about today. I mean, I am on TV right now, but doing the news is something completely different. It's a different experience. And being that this is local, so you know how much I love Charleston, it's so close to heart. And this is something that I've watched growing up my entire life and my entire family's gonna watch. All right, back to the bowl with my dressing. I'm gonna add that chicken, those roasted grapes, my chopped celery, tarragon, pecans. This is a chunky chicken salad. And I've also chopped some shallots. And as I mix my chicken with the dressing and all of my other ingredients, what I'm gonna do is slightly smush some of the grapes. So you won't have, really big pieces of grapes in there. That looks good. All right, so I'm gonna give it a taste before I build my sandwich. Make sure I get a little grape in there too. The first thing I taste is the natural sweetness from the roasted grapes. And then I get the tarragon and that Dijon. Just a little bit more salt and pepper, won't hurt. The chicken is juicy, the grapes are juicy. This is great. Dave and the crew, they're gonna love this. All right, so I'm gonna assemble my sandwiches now. I have some toasted and buttered sourdough. I have some butter lettuce here. I have quite a few sandwiches to build, but I'm gonna just show you one. Take that chunky chicken salad, place it down on one side of your bread. I'm gonna take about 2 of these butter leaves, squish it together, cut it down the center. All that crunch, right? Chicken salad sandwiches. All right, let me give it a taste. The forecast is delicious.